Okay, now, who's motivated? How many, how many men are in the audience? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you all for coming and supporting your wives and supporting this event. I'd like to call to the stage our moderator for the evening, a dear friend, Suzanne Dufour. President and CEO of Planned Parenthood Marmonte, Stacy Cross, and filmmaker of Heart to Heart, Leela Lynn.
Well, I think all of us can agree that this was an amazing opportunity to see two films that really move you, and I think we can all feel united and, thank God, uplifted, right? No. So that feels great. I want to start out first by just introducing here to Leela, who made the short that we saw at the beginning, and I think we can all agree that the story that's told in 8 minutes is incredibly powerful, and I just want to take a moment and give her a little applause for an amazing. Now, I also want you to applause again because she's 19. And I think the film is not fantastic because she's 19. I think it's fantastic and she's 19. I think that's an amazing accomplishment. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Crew of 4 people and actors, and I was the director and edited it and produced it, and I had an amazing team working with me. But like the story, I mean, it's honestly just like being a girl and having a best friend. It's the most powerful thing in the world. And I feel like also, like the closing moment, it changed a lot in the filming process because, like, it's hard, guys. It's hard making films with 2 7-year-old girls. I mean, I can't, like, I don't even know how it's gonna be when I'm a mom. It's gonna be crazy, but it's, yeah. So, but the ending, like, that was inspired by when I had a fit when I was a young girl. I don't remember what I was crying about, but it was probably related to something about my friends or something. But I was like kicking, screaming, crying, and my dad just held me and he gripped me so tight that I just couldn't move. And I started fighting him and I just cried and cried and cried. And I just had to surrender in his arms. And it's just like that parent and daughter relationship is just so powerful. And also, like, I moved countries 2 times and left my friends behind. So, and actually, like, my mom, she was, like, crying when I read the script to her for the first time, and I was like, why are you crying? Like, you don't have to cry. And she was like, Leela, you've gone through this. And I was like, oh, I forgot about that. It was totally in my subconscious, and I even named the character a pretty similar name to myself, Layla, which is the character that's moving away, and I didn't even realize it until she said it. But, yeah, I think it's been brewing in me for some time.
But it's such a relatable topic. It's beautiful. So I'm not surprised that you had an experience like that too, because I think most of us in this room can really relate to that as well. Well, what I loved is talking to you before this. You actually talked about something that I felt like is reflected in the second film, which was when you made the film, it was this feeling of collaboration with your 12 classmates. And can you tell a little bit about how that works?
Yeah, definitely. So we're 12 in a class, and we get divided into groups of 4. So it was just a 4-group project, and each of us made our own films over a course of a week, and we had another week to edit it. So it's a very short time to make 4 films, but it all worked out, and it's amazing being there. And we're equal, girls and guys, we're equal parts, and it's amazing, just the collaboration and teamwork and working with amazing people who all are so creative and such an inspiration to my work. I learned so much just being there and sitting next to them. It's amazing.
Well, this was great. And tell me, what are you working on next?
Well, now, like, I'm kind of just, like, having a free time and enjoying the USA. But in Iceland, I'm writing a script about 2 sisters who haven't met in a long time, and they're going on a road trip to their childhood home. And they're polar opposites. Like, one has been caring for their mother after their father died, and one of them is, like, career like she's just thinking about a career and didn't have time to come and visit, and so they haven't met in a long time, and they go over all their relationship problems, and yeah.
Well, we'll be looking forward to that. Julie?
Well, I did hear and discover the band here. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm in a band. I play the bass. We're a six-person girl band. We play pop music, and we just played at a really big music festival in Iceland called Bergmál, where Kaleo, if you know him, he was headlining. But anyways, it was great, and we're called 5K. 5 the number and K the letter.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for bringing that up, Julie. I appreciate that as well. So I had the great, fortunate ability to see Stacy talk at Brews and Views, if anyone has ever been at Brews and Views. And amazing, and such a great leadership. And I just want to kick off a little bit by you telling me, when you see this film, just tell me your top-line thoughts. What runs through your head?
Well, it was interesting because this is the first time Leila has seen this too, so that really blew me away. Actually, every time I see it, I'm more inspired. And of course, you can't help reflect on what's happening in our country right now, which is horrific, particularly for women. This film, this happened 2 years after Roe allowed women in America the constitutional right to have an abortion. And now we're sitting here today, 4 years this week after Roe got overturned. And we have not done that much to really stand up for women and what's happening. But I just think that there are so many correlations. And we do have marches, but I think women need to stand up with their equal partners and really fight for what we believe in for America, what our values are, and elect those champions, because we didn't do a great job last time. So we have lots of opportunity to grow.
And the fragility, it's really the fragility of
yes, just how fragile everything is. Especially, we were talking earlier that us as America were viewed from a very different light. I'm just getting ready to go overseas, so I'm trying to prepare for that. But it is, now that we know that this can happen every 4 years, and I don't know how somebody wants to be an ally for us or count on us as an ally. And we have to do better than this. We know we can do better, and we can't stop fighting. Once we're silent and we don't speak, and it's really hard right now because we're all experiencing just numb with chaos. Like, even on the way here, I'm thinking, what happened today? I don't even know what terrible thing happened today. Thankfully, I won't know until tomorrow because I'm not going to turn the news on tonight. But it is a terrible time in our country, but it is a time that we all really need to stand up and fight back and unite, both men and women, because we're in this together.
Yeah, no, totally agree. So, Stacy, I just hope that you share with others kind of your memory of this event.
Well, it was kind of funny because my father was in road construction, and so he was actually, in 1975, he worked, did a lot of things for the Air Force and the Army, and so he was over in Greenland paving a runway in Greenland. He'd be pretty horrified by what's happening with Greenland right now, or amused in some ways. But it was, so we actually went to Iceland for Thanksgiving in 1975. And it was my first experience with a gender-neutral bathroom. I went in, and there's men and women. It was a very interesting experience for our whole family. But it was, I remember this because my mom had a very good friend in Reykjavik, and we had heard about this experience, and we went down to see where it happened. And as part of, my mom was a very, very strong feminist. And this is because we all believe we want to be treated equal and have equal opportunities in our world. And so she drove that into me. And maybe that was part of the reason I'm in the career I'm in, a variety of things. But I really believe in gender equity, no matter even the fluidity of that. And so we just have to learn to stand up and fight back. And it was just kind of really fun to see it. That was actually my second time I saw it at home and watched it. And both gives you strength, but also tears of where we're at and how fragile, as you said, everything is.
Yeah, totally agree. Top line thoughts. You're watching at it in a very different perspective as Gen Z.
I found it powerful, moving, and just extremely amazing. I had shivers down my whole body, especially like she also said it in the movie. She said like, "Oh, I get shivers just thinking about it." Like I had goosebumps when she said that. It's an amazing film, and it's an amazing moment in Iceland's history, and I think that it's a lesson and something that we can definitely learn from, and just it's amazing. It's powerful. I think I loved the animation part. That was like, it was so good. It was so beautiful. And just like all those interviews, and even getting Vigdís Finnbogadóttir, the first female president, it's amazing. She's still alive today. She's amazing. I've met her before. Oh. It's always a fun thing to say that.
So
And we're a long way from that here, sadly.
Yeah. How is it talked about in among your peers? Is this a conversation about what happened back then or not?
I mean, definitely, if we're talking about women's rights, it definitely comes up. It's a big moment that we all reflect on often. But I think that now, today, we live in a whole new environment, like with tech rising and with the accessibility of everything and everybody being anonymous, and everything just becomes so extreme when you have that, like, when you don't have the limitations of people knowing that it's you. Like, everything becomes so extreme when you can say anything on the internet. So it's a different ballgame right now. But still, looking back at this and seeing just the power that people have to stand together and work together, it's amazing.
Is there any part of the story that you hear differently?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I have yet to, like, I remember my grandma talking about this and my dad.
Every part of my being to make it a better place for everyone.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So the conversation sometimes becomes about reproductive rights. It becomes about body autonomy. It becomes about all these things separate from some of these topics. But in this film, I really feel like it pulls all those things together about kind of other people controlling women. Tell me a little bit about how you see that now and how you want, I don't know, to move forward with some change.
Well, a story that I was just reminded of is the first women's march after Trump got in the first time. And I took my daughters with me. And one of my daughters was playing volleyball, and she missed one of her training. And the coach said, "Oh, I guess you were at that little thing." And I said, "Yeah, the little thing with 1.2 million people, yep, we were at that." And so, but we have to make sure we're treating everybody equally. It shouldn't be, I love the way they described it. It was not power over, it was power together. Yeah. And that's what's really important right now. We want to be equals. That's what we've always wanted, but we've really taken a step back. But we have to keep moving forward. But there's so many stories from our patients, from every day when you look at the news, of opportunities where people could be standing up, they could be speaking their mind. Social media is actually very scary because you get dinged back. I myself have to be really careful about what I would say on social media because I would get lots of interesting comments. And so we have to be really careful, but we can't be so careful and so afraid they're not willing to stand up and protect each other. I mean, what right now, besides just not treating each other well, is there's no empathy for each other. Someone is down, we need to take the opportunity to pick them up with us, and we're not seeing that right now. And it's not acceptable. It's terrible role models for our children and our future children that we have accepted this inappropriate, evil, cruel behavior by our administration, and we have to stand together and really fight back. But there's just tons of stories right now for us at Planned Parenthood. We're seeing patients come out here from all 50 states because they can't get the services that they need, that they used to be able to get in their right in their neighborhood or right down the street. So women jumping in a car, traveling frequently with 2 little kids, getting here, saying she needed the services we could provide because she has to get in a car in 2 hours and get back to work. And she has an 18-hour drive back. And that's what's happening in America. It's hard to believe that people aren't more outraged what's happening in some of these really challenging states where there's a total ban or terrible restrictions. And Idaho, for example, has lost 90% of their OBGYNs as a result of this. 90%. So if you are not in Sun Valley or Boise, on average, you have to drive 3 to 4 hours in active labor. I have 5 kids. I had very fast labors. None of my kids would have made it through that. And so we have to really realize what's happening right now. And again, hear the stories, because stories are the best way for people, to understand what's going on. So this was fabulous, just a string of stories woven together to really give you an impression of when women get together, we can be so strong.
And can I also say, I think that what struck me was it was so peaceful. Is that it was a good feeling of people coming together. And really, I loved when they talk about, we came together in our groups from a certain, business or whatever. So we represented us in this group, in this larger group, but it was all so uniting, which I thought was really.
It's my family, like Stefan is my dad, but also we do have started much more using, I could be Tristan's daughter because Tristan is my mother. But yeah, so people sometimes name their children after their mother or their father.
So interesting. Okay, yes, go ahead. Right behind you.
Is there any place that people that couldn't make it tonight can see this movie?
Julie?
Okay, Julie.
Yeah.
So this woman just asked if it's possible to see this outside of this, and I said I'm trying to take it throughout the Bay Area, and if I'm successful, then great. But if not, it might be streamable, but I haven't found that to be the case yet. But I'll run the mic to people, so you can ask your question.
Thanks. Yeah, I was in Minneapolis in January with the clergy call to join the strike there, and it was really inspiring to be part of a strike that was so focused on a single issue, like saying no to ICE and standing up for immigrants. And there's so many issues that we now need to stand together on. So I'm just thinking tonight, it's the beginning of Pride weekend in San Francisco. It feels important to say women's rights and all gender justice and trans rights and queer rights, right? Which was a problem and a challenge with the women's rights movement back then, lack of inclusivity of queer folks. And I just wanted to share with folks that are thinking, what can I do? That there is a call for strike in this country, and we have a lot of work to do to prepare for it, because the difference is Iceland is such a small country, and it was so beautiful to see all those telephone lines going around. And we've never had a general strike in the United States. We've only had city or state-based. And freedomtrainers.net and the organization I work with, beautifultrouble.org, are good resources for that. But I just wanted to kind of explore, if you're willing to talk about that topic of the difference between this film, which is instrumental action, it's actually civil disobedience, it's disrupting power, versus an expressive action like a No King's Day protest on a Saturday, and how we kind of can exercise our muscle to disrupt business as usual. And yeah.
Yeah, hi. So what struck me in the movie was the collaboration between the left and the right. And they actually changed the name to a day off instead of a strike to incorporate the right. And as you know, in this country, in this day, it really is left versus right. And I'm wondering, how do we make this a left with right type of movement as opposed to just the left saying this?
That's a giant question, and you hand it off to me. I mean, yes, I come from a population of 460 people. No, wait, 460,000 people. Thank you, sorry. But no, it's a great question. And I think it's all about, like how she said, like when they were talking about it as a strike and when they were talking about it, I don't remember what she said, but she said something like, we were saying it wrong. Like we said it in a way that triggered people. So I think that the focus should be that we're talking about humanity. We're talking about people living together as people so that we can love one another, respect one another. And to find a way to word it like that, to drill the focus on being together as a society, as a whole, I think that's the main point we need to find out.
Yeah, brilliant.
No, I mean, words are powerful. And so I think the fact that they did accommodate that, and that's hard even within each of our parties to do that right now. But if we could, it made me think of when Trump was elected the first time and they were attacking and at airports. I was the CEO in Portland then, and they were taking people from the airports in Portland, and I called clergy of all types together, and we had a meeting at my main building, and we all united together to protect each other during that time, and it was about protection. And I think we need to do that now and decide we have to put our things that we disagree aside. It is more challenging because we are divided, but also easier because we have easy access to information. We could do something like this tomorrow if we all got together to do it, and because we have such instant access to information, but it is finding a middle ground where everybody can agree. And that is challenging, but in order to really make America better again, we have to do that. And we can't allow things to be taken from us, which I think we're doing right now. We're allowing the flag to be taken from us. I wore red to something, and people were horrified. I'm like, I like red. I'm not giving. I'm not letting them have red, and we have to stop that. But we have to find common ground for things and put things aside for the good of humanity.
Actually, I had something I wanted to say really quick, and I came up to the front because somebody asked the question, how do we bring the right together and the left together? And it just occurred to me that you cannot make a heart without both hands. And I really think we have to bring the right hand and the left hand together for us to have heart. And maybe this should be our symbol, because that's what we want, is we want to bring humanity together with love and respect, kindness and compassion. So this is what I'm going to say.
I want to thank you so much for this evening. For both of those shows were just incredible. We were in Iceland a couple years ago, and it's the most beautiful place in the world. And I understand you have mosquitoes now.
I haven't seen any.
Okay, good.
But I have heard that, yes.
Yeah. And so I didn't know about this event, and I was wondering if any of you have an insight as to, this was on a Friday, I believe, that happened on a Friday. What happened on Monday?
I don't know. Yeah, that's another film. Maybe I'll do that one day.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I think I will.
I found it really interesting how the men dismissed it and everything, and then they were just shocked. I really love that aspect of it. First, they were trying to bully the women out of it, and then all of a sudden they were just, look, and they were overwhelmed how much outpouring there was of all the women that came into the square, and even in the little, when they dropped the children off at work. Oh my God. And I'm of those women's age too.
And then thank you very much for all those great questions, and thank you to our panelists. I also want to give a big thank you to Julie and Beach Break, who bring these films to us. So thank you, Julie, for an amazing event.